Adi is my elder brother. For good advice, there was no other. He always took the greatest care, and in all things was very fair. At school, he was extremely smart, excelled in all except for art. For fame he never seemed to hanker. In SSC he was first ranker, then Xavier's College up to Inter. Then he had to contend with winter, as his next step was MIT, where, when just 21, you see, he was both bachelor and master, and few have ever done it faster. Once back home, he started work. No matter what, he'd never shirk. This was way back in '63. The years have passed, as you can see. His arrival meant rising hopes for 40-year-old Godrej soaps. Just 2 crore was then the size, and Adi set out to modernize. MBAs were soon recruited, and cars for managers were mooted. The marketing was revamped, and for those who couldn't change, decamped. He introduced cost accounting, and soon the sales started mounting. But hair dye was his greatest coup, and over the years, it grew and grew. The 90s then brought quite a change. The landscape now seemed very strange. With multinationals at the door, we hardly knew what was in store. Pepsi and Coke bought all in sight. Should we sell or should we fight? We chose a path that's in between. In hindsight now it can be seen that Indian firms that learned to hone their skills easily held their own. But then we thought that we should seek strong partners or we would stay weak. And so we formed the odd joint venture, which proved to be quite an adventure. We learnt a lot, and that's for sure. It helps us still to endure. But when we got our business back, we were rather off the track. But he was ready for the fight, and very soon he set things right. An acquisition that was bold brought HI into our fold, and many more were unfurled as we spread around the world. The Godrej soaps began to soar, our market price we couldn't score. Then our advisors thought it fit that Godrej soaps should be split. GCPL came into being, and Adi, very quickly seeing the trend for better governance, put in place all at once with lots of help from CII, best practices that surely vie with the very best in the world. When our new stock was then unfurled, it very soon began to fly, and to this day it still stays high. GIL came into being. In recent days, we are seeing our chemical business steadily rise as we diversify and specialize. Our new products should ensure that the rapid growth will endure. The shares we hold, as you can tell, are also doing very well. In these companies at the start, Adi played a major part. And so today one clearly sees that now Godrej Properties, which he served with fealty, has really arrived in realty. For agrovet, animal feed can be considered our core creed. But it was not always so, and many of you may not know the way we stumbled into feed. For compound feed, one saw no need. Then Bueller sought out L&T. Together they had tried to see if a market might exist. There were no takers on their list. They chose to make a clean swipe, but were left with a prototype. A discount customer was sought, and Adi was the one who bought. Serendipity and not a vision thus gave birth to this division. In time, the business forged ahead. Geographically, we chose to spread, and on my watch, we diversified. New businesses were then tried. Over the years, it has grown, and now it's listed on its own. But it was Adi who laid the seed that permitted us to succeed. Is Adi's success because of skill Or is it more his iron will? For Adi was always organized and punctuality was prized. By dusk his desk is very neat. His paperwork is all complete. Not agonizing is the trick. Decisions must be very quick. Adi can't stand the status quo. All novel things he wants to know. And if he thinks that it is right, he puts in all his will and might behind the new initiative, and with the support that he can give, we quickly learn the latest ways, make sure the group sees better days. But while he strives for the group, the industry is in the loop. He's always ready to lend a hand, be president, or take a stand with government on policy, and he'll persist till industry gets exactly what it needs. And once he headed CII, ensuring that it would fly high. And anybody that you ask will state this is no easy task, requiring traveling incessantly and persuasive advocacy. How he survived, I'll never know. In fact, he had a cheery glow. And now, of course, we all see we have a working GST, a cause he pursued relentlessly, almost monomaniacally. And for this selfless contribution, he deserves his Padma Bhushan. All who see him are inspired. For all he does, he's never tired. Where did he get the energy? It's really not a mystery. Adi, of course, was very fit. He didn't seem to want to sit. There's not a sport he hasn't tried, for he can even paraglide. He really loves to water ski, not on a lake, but on the sea. And on a trip to Mount Kailash, although conditions were quite harsh, the mount was circled in a day. Most folks his age would say, no way. And none of us can fail to see that he is full of energy. He has set a rapid pace as he led us in the race, though all of us most surely know that we have many miles to go. But still, we are sure it can be done. Indeed, the race must be won. And if we stay on the proper way and never let our values sway, if all of us fulfill our roles, we will surely reach our goals. 1 billion Indians, we can say, will use our product every day. And everywhere it will be seen that we are great, good, and green. Adi's spell was truly great. The years he worked were 58. But all good things come to an end. Let's hope we can maintain the trend. He's stepping down. As you can see, the mantle has been passed to me. His shoes are big and hard to fill. But with your support, I think we will continue well in the same way as Adi did in his own way. He will be Chairman Emeritus, and I'm sure he'll merit us with his presence and advice, invaluable beyond any price. Now, hearing praise can be quite tough. I'm sure by now he's had enough. But all the same, why don't we stand and then give him a rousing hand? For service to both group and nation, he deserves a standing ovation.